we are so glad that you're joining us for week 3 of Bite Size. In this series, we're pulling out all the nuggets of wisdom found throughout the book of Proverbs.
Exactly. Proverbs is filled with standalone verses that provide us with wisdom. If you tuned in with us last week, you know we talked about our relationship with God and specifically fearing God.
And if you missed last week's message, it's no big deal. All of our services are on demand. You can just go back through them at any time.
But before we dive into more wise words from King Solomon, let's worship.
Step out of the shadow, step out of the grave, break into the wild, and don't be afraid. Run into wide open spaces, graces waiting for you. Dance like the weight has been lifted, graces waiting. For the Spirit of the Lord there is freedom, there is freedom. Where the Spirit of the Lord there is freedom, there is freedom. Come out of the dark, just as you are, into the fullness of His love. For the Spirit is here, let there be freedom, let there be freedom.
Show me one thing you can't do. Show me a mountain you can't move. He's the God of the breakthrough. Anything is possible. Show me one thing that's too high. Show me waters you can't part. He's the God of the breakthrough. Anything is possible. It's possible. And there is a kingdom that's advancing at the speed of light. And in His kingdom, every dead thing is bound to rise. Oh God, our Redeemer, He is faithful to rely. He will rely. Show me one thing you can't do. Show me a mountain you can't move. He's a God of the breakthrough, and anything is possible. Show me one thing that's too high. Show me waters you can't part. He's a God of the breakthrough, and anything is possible. It's possible. All of my fears I will turn into praise. I'll shake off despair as I sing out your name. A victory dance, I will dance out in faith. I will crush disappointment and break every chain. All of my fears I will turn into praise. I'll shake off despair as I sing out your name. A victory dance, I will dance out in faith. I will crush disappointment and break every chain. All of my fears I will turn into praise. I'll shake off despair as I sing out your name. A victory dance, I will dance out in faith. I will crush disappointment. Show me one thing you can't do. Show me a mountain you can't move. He's the God of the breakthrough, and anything is possible. Show me one thing that's too high. Show me waters you can't part. He's the God of the
Well, last week we learned that wisdom starts with the proper relationship with God and a relationship to authority. We talked about it being vertical relationships. Well, today we're going to learn how wisdom informs our horizontal relationships with other people. So vertical with God, but also our relationships with other people. Our key verse today is a bite-sized piece of wisdom from Proverbs 2:12, which says, "Wisdom will save you from the ways of wicked men, from men whose words are perverse." In other words, what this wisdom is teaching us is that wisdom can actually inform us about horizontal relationships. In fact, here's another one of my favorite bite-sized piece of wisdom that says this a little bit different way. "Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffer harm." Now, I'll tell you a story to illustrate this. My friends growing up, we were a mature group of people. In fact, individually, we were respectful, we were kind to authority. We even at this phase, we had good relationships with God. Individually, we were respectful, but then we would get together and we would become complete morons. Individually, we were unbelievably respectful. We'd get together and something happened where just all kind of wisdom went out the window. I'll never forget when we were ding-dong ditching one night. This is before Ring doorbells, and we had nothing better to do, and we would have never done this alone. But you throw us together, and all of a sudden, like I said, we just didn't become that wise. And so one day we were ding-dong ditching, and it was, 4 a.m. We were wearing snowsuits in the middle of summer for no reason, and we ring this doorbell, and we go hide behind some bushes. And this guy comes out that looks like a LeBron James kind of ate LeBron James, like just massive, and he's so angry, and we're across the street because we think we're invincible, just cracking up. And he goes back inside, and we notice that he had some mattresses that he was throwing away. And so we decided to double down, and we throw a mattress against his door, ring the doorbell, go and hide, and of course this time the door swings open, and LeBron 2.0 punches the mattress into outer space, and we're across the street laughing up, cracking up, and LeBron 2.0 is livid. I'm pretty sure this time he was bigger, and he's huffing and puffing, and we're if this guy catches us, he's gonna tear our limbs off. But he went back inside, and we kind of looked at each other round 3. And we kept putting mattresses against this guy's door until eventually one time he almost caught us. He grabbed one of our friends by the snowsuit, by the back of it. He had to crawl out of it like a ninja and run away in his underwear. This unbelievable story, which, random side fact, 2 weeks later, his house was for sale, and I think it's directly related. but this unbelievable story that individually, we were respectful, you put us together, and something about us getting together, it just corrupted us. And we laugh, but in a small, simple way, the people I was around made me do something I would never do on my own, and believe me, I have way worse stories than ding-dong ditching. Let me say this a simpler way. You show me your friends, and I can show you your future. There's actually studies out there that show you that you are an average of your 5 closest friends. In fact, since this is 2:42 at home, if you're at home or able, do something for me. Go get a piece of paper and a pen, okay? If not, just pull out your phone and use your notes and write down your 5 closest friends. Okay, I'm gonna give you some time as you kind of write down, just think through 5 closest friends, who are they? And no spouses, okay? They can be family members, but just your 5 closest friends, all right? Well, studies say that out of those 5 names, you're probably not the most physically fit and probably not the least physically fit. You're probably not the most wealthy, but you're probably not also the worst off. You're somewhere right in the middle, and guess what? This applies spiritually as well. In fact, usually you aren't the most spiritual or the least spiritual. Actually, if you are the most spiritual out of those 5 friends, this is actually a red flag, because probably they're not gonna build you up. Bad company, like the bite-sized wisdom says, corrupts good character. They're gonna bring you down. And so what would it look like to find people that are actually encouraging you, lifting you up in your faith, somewhere that if you sit right in the middle, you're actually doing quite well. And if you look around and realize you may be the sharpest, spiritually, that this could be a red flag and people could actually be bringing you down. So what would it look like to surround yourself with some people that would bring you up? In fact, let me show you some more bite-sized wisdom to help simplify this. This is a man named Paul writing this. He wrote over a third of the New Testament. He has some wisdom to give. And in 1 Corinthians 15:33, he says this: "Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character." In other words, this is pretty blunt. You could have some really good character that unfortunately the people you surround yourself with could corrupt it. And I know you're thinking, no, I'm different. Like, you don't understand. Like I'm stronger than this. I'm just telling you what the scripture, the Bible, the wisdom tells us. In fact, I'll put it simply. Bad company corrupts good character. God saw fit to warn us about this because the people we let into our lives is who we become. In fact, let me be crystal clear so I can clear something up here. I'm sure many people are thinking, or at least like asking at this point, yes, we can still love people that aren't like us, that do have bad character. We can accept them, we can forgive them, and yes, they can even be our friends. But be careful who is in your inner circle. Those 5 names, because they will begin to influence the quality and the direction of your life. In fact, I'll say it even simpler. Those people that might not be good influencers, they don't share the same values as you. This doesn't mean they can't be like buddies. They just shouldn't be your entourage. Do you understand this bite-sized wisdom? I mean, this piece of wisdom could help you do something drastic. It could help you make better decisions and actually walk away with fewer regrets. Here, I'm going to illustrate this in a bigger, more tangible way. Can we virtually welcome my friend Matthew to the virtual stage here today? This is Matthew behind me. Matthew brought with him a very expensive prop. Nothing but the best here, okay? This is a chair, all right? Matthew, would you stand on this chair? Now, if you're watching Matthew, he's standing up on this chair. I'm going to have Matthew do something, all right? As my friend, would you go ahead and bring me up, Matthew, to the chair with you? No, I want to be brought up, please. To the chair. Okay. Now Matthew couldn't bring me up to the chair. I don't know why, but let me try to bring you down from the chair. You even tried to withhold there. Okay, go ahead. That is all we need. You guys can at home please awkwardly clap by yourself and give Matthew a round of applause. Thanks, Matthew. Now obviously that was able to be done because of my brute strength. No, not at all. Matthew could take me one-on-one in a fight, but he couldn't lift me up. It's so much harder to lift someone up than it is to bring someone down. And we don't really always rationalize this. We think maybe we could fix them. I've heard it said in relationships, you gotta flirt to convert a little bit, right? There's something that we want to do, that we love to fix people. But I'm guessing you have enough bite-sized wisdom in your own experience that you've seen 9 out of 10 times them not be the one that, or you not be the one that brings them up, but them be the one that brings you down. It is so much easier for someone to bring you down than them or you bring them up. So, what relationships should we strive after? Well, one that brings you up. I'll give you one last bite-sized piece of wisdom that will put this into even better terms. The Bible says this right here: let love and faithfulness never leave you. Bind them around your neck, like so tight. Write them on the tablet of your heart, and then you will win favor. If you're a note taker, just circle that word favor, and a good name in the sight of God and man. That right there is a proverb. It's a bite-sized piece of wisdom written by one of the wisest men to ever walk the earth. And it's saying good spiritual relationships lead to a good reputation, or as scripture calls it, favor. So it's time to look at your list of names again. Even if you didn't write them down, maybe use them in your notes, or maybe they were just even in your head. I say what I said at the beginning. Show me your friends, show me your list, and I could probably show you your future. Is it possible that one of the best ways you could make better decisions and have fewer regrets would be to put some new names on that list? I know that sounds awful, and I'm telling you, they can still be your buddies, but your inner circle, your entourage, it could change your future, and you can actually find that right here at 242. The language we use around here is twofold. It's small groups and coach. We say circles are actually better than rows. A small group of people, a new list could be better than just even attending church or watching online. And a coach is somebody, well, to coach you in your life. Maybe you have a pretty good crew and you could just use a name or so. That could be your coach, someone to develop you there. Well, maybe it's time to find a person to help you get where you're going, instruct you, and like I said, coach you. Or maybe it's time to crumple up that list and you need a new list altogether, a small group that could actually develop who you're becoming, one that pulls you up, encourages you, and well, what if you were closer to that than you actually thought? What if you were one community, one small group away from changing the course of your life? And so just like this series, what if it only took a bite-sized step? In fact, not even a step, because a lot of you watching this right now, you're sitting down. I won't even make you take a step, all right? Here's what I'm gonna have you do. I'm gonna have you go to actually the next step section of our app. If you've got a phone, just download the 242 app, click on next steps and click groups, and a magical map will pop up where every group in your geographic area will just pop up around you. And what I'm gonna have you do is I'm gonna have you just click on just one of those groups. There's actually a button that says contact. And if you click contact, you could be one contact away from changing the course of your life, from a new community, one bite-sized step from a new list that could change the course of your future.
If you've joined us before for 242 at home, then you know that we're big on taking next steps.
That's right. If you're ready to take your next step and dive into studying the Bible, we're going through Proverbs, and you can start the Bible plan today by going to 242community.com/next.
Maybe this is your first time tuning in, and if that's the case, we hope to see you next time for week 4 of Bite Size.
We'll see you then.